Yes, my friends, again I say welcome to another ish episode of John Sports Corner with none other than sports luminary John Melbourne. And John, I guess it's great to see you again. I know that it was cold in New York, and know that you have stuck your head out of the ground. We know that we only have 6 more weeks of winter. So
Thank you so much, Trevor. Folks, it's Wednesday. Yeah, it's Wednesday. It's time for John Sports Corner here on the SosoBone Media Network, and it's been raining all day, Trevor, here. So, we love the rain. We welcome the rain.
yes.
Yeah. But let me remind you before we kick things off that you may go to the Winner Circle Sports in the SosoBone shop and purchase your choice of merchandise listed. There are T-shirts, mugs, backpacks, and with Christmas around the corner, sorry, it should be on your table.
Oh, yes.
We also have the Great Jamaica Blue Mountain Coffee, and what a way to start Christmas morning with a cup of the Great Jamaica Blue Mountain Coffee.
Oh, yes.
So, folks, it can also make a wonderful Christmas gift, something different. You don't have to run to the store to try and find a Christmas gift. Just go to www.sosobone.com, go to the SosoBone shop and shop for your coffee. Again, before I talk sports, let me just remind you about this Saturday, the Rochdale Village Community Center in Queens, New York, is having their pre-Kwanzaa Christmas and pop-up shop Saturday, which is this Saturday, the 14th, from 3 to 9. So if you can, just pass by the Rochdale Village Community Center and do some shopping. Starting with birthdays, today, the many-time world champion medalist out of Jamaica, Alia Atkinson, swimmer, celebrates a birthday. Also, Nicole Aiken-Pinnock, a world netball medalist, as well as Sylvester Clark, Barbadian, former Barbados and West Indies cricketer. Tomorrow, another former cricketer out of Jamaica, Laurie Williams, would have celebrated a birthday. On Friday, one of our great athletes of yesteryear would have celebrated a birthday. George Roden, part of that 4x4 relay team in the 1952 Helsinki Olympic Games. George Roden died earlier this year.
Yes, so sorry to hear
On
that.
Saturday, O'Dane Richards celebrates a birthday, athlete out of Jamaica. Aisha Port-Lear, she also celebrates a birthday. Marissa Aguilera, former West Indies women's captain and world champion cricketer, celebrates a birthday. Then on Monday, one of my favorite athletes of yesterday out of the United States, one Mr. Vic Matthews, celebrates a
Okay.
birthday, Olympic gold medalist, of course. Also, Donovan Bailey, Jamaican born, but who ran for Canada and was at the Atlanta Olympics, where he won the 100 meters in world record time at the time.
Yes,
He
John.
celebrates a birthday. And former Jamaica and West Indies cricketer Ricardo Powell will celebrate on Monday. Let's start with some track and field. A couple of Jamaican athletics big men looking at other sports. Start with Olympic discus gold medalist Roger Stoner. He is one of 14 athletes selected in the NFL International Player Pathway Program for next year.
Okay.
The program seeks to identify global talent as well as to provide athletes with the opportunity to improve and develop skills that could land them with a National Football League team. It's a 10-week training camp in Florida, and it features field and classroom sessions. There's also Olympian Chad Wright, also a discus thrower, who hopes he doesn't have to choose between the discus, which is his passion, and weightlifting. He recently won his first weightlifting competition when he was first in the snatch as well as the clean and jerk at an event in Barbados where he was representing Jamaica. He competed in the 109 kilogram division.
Yes.
St. Lucia's Olympic 100-meter gold medalist and 60-meter world indoor champion Julian Alfred, through the Julian Alfred Foundation, hosted its inaugural event, a Christmas party at her alma mater, Cicerone RC Combined School.
Wow.
Creating an unforgettable day for students with gifts, treats, and inspiration.
You
The
know, John,
focus of the foundation is to meet critical needs of St. Lucia's youths, from school supplies to athletic equipment.
John, you know, one day she's gonna run for prime minister, right?
Well, I tell you, but Trevor, as I read about Julian Alfred and her foundation
Mhm.
and what she has just done for the youngsters in St. Lucia,
Yeah.
it takes me back to the chat we had with Len Chambers, if you might recall,
Yes.
when
yes.
he talked about Alfred Valentine's parade through the streets of Spanish Town,
Mm.
following that great West Indies win over England in 1950, I think it was, and how it inspired him.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Remember. Yes.
and it
yes.
makes me wonder and hope that what Julian Alfred has done will inspire some St. Lucian youth to great things one day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes.
Oblique Seville and Nikisha Price to join compatriots Akira Nugent, Rochelle Clayton, and Rashawn Clark on the 4-stop Grand Prix track series next year. Both went to the Paris Olympics with medal hopes but failed.
Mm.
Seville finishing 8th in the men's 100 final, while Nikisha Price failed to make the 400 semifinal because of illness. Both hopeful their 2025 season will be more rewarding. In fact, Seville, with a personal best of 9.81 seconds in the 100 meters so far, believes he can break into the top 5 100-meter sprinters in the world,
But
but
John,
says he
but
has a lot to improve on before he can achieve this ambitious goal.
yeah, but John, he ran that time before the Olympics.
Yes,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. And he just didn't show up in the final in the Olympic Games.
Right.
But the top 5, Trevor, that he talks about are Usain Bolt, who has the world record at 9.58.
Uh-huh.
Johan Blake and Tyson Gay follows with 9.69 seconds.
Yeah.
Asafa Powell, 9.72 seconds.
Yeah.
And Justin Gatlin, 9.74 seconds.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Seville has gotten to the 100-meter finals of the last 2 World Championships in 2022 and
Mhm.
2023, and last year's Olympic final, but has failed to medal. But to be fair, he seems to come down with injuries at the wrong time, Trevor.
Mhm. I was
Yeah,
I was expecting some really good things from him at the Paris Olympics, based on the fact
yeah, yeah.
he was in the top 5 going in. And I just wondered the lack of the coaches there, John, to really, as we talked about in the past, that the coaching staff was underrepresented at the Paris Olympics. Okay, and it might have had an influence when it comes to minor injuries, being able to treat them and all the things that you need to do to be in top form, John, to win it at the Olympics.
But not forgetting, though, Trevor, that he and these athletes, the premier ones, have their own coaches.
Yes.
They might not be a part of the staff named by the J3s,
Okay.
but their coaches go with them.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
Well,
know,
I know we had
and he just picked up, he looked good
Uh-huh.
coming up to the final.
Uh-huh.
But apparently he had some kind of little niggle coming out of the semi-final. Same with Kishian Thompson, who came out of the semi-final with a little niggle.
Yes.
But Oblique Seville seemed to be, I don't want to say injury prone, but every now and then he picks up this little injury that seemed to set him back a little. And it's so unfortunate because he really seemed to have the goods, Trevor.
I'm gonna ask you a question, John. You mentioned the fact that these young kids have their own coaches, John. Who pays for it, John?
Well, I suppose what they get from the from endorsements from their um from their um their suppliers, uniform suppliers, track, from the Pumas, from the Adidas, from the Nikes.
Yeah,
So some of whatever they make, I guess, goes to the club.
Yeah, but did some of these athletes that are going out there, John, they have not really won anything so far. When they before they maybe go to Diamond League and other places. So I
don't know how
their resources.
Yeah. I don't know how what's the deal with a minor athlete, so to speak, Trevor.
Yes.
But the major athletes, they're taken care of.
Right. Well, they have enough resources.
And there is a contract, I guess, between them and their coach or the club.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, Barbados and West Indies women's dynamic all-rounder, Deandra Dotting, as we shift to cricket, has put her hat in the ring in Sunday's 2025 Women's Premier League auction. She's one of 120 players vying for 19 spots for the third season of the Women's Premier League, scheduled for February 21st through March 15, 2025. Of the 19 spots, 5 are reserved for overseas players. Both Dotting and Heather Knight have listed their reserve price at the highest slab, approximately $60,000.
Okay.
Dotting, she was Deandra Dotting was part of the Melbourne Renegades team that recently won in fact, their first women's Big Bash League in Australia. And, you just backing up to the track and field a bit, Trevor, I just seem to have lost it a little. But, the different sportswear giants who these top athletes they have contracts with, I think it also includes their club.
Okay.
Who get some kind of
compensation for training them. Yeah.
As Randy Williams used to say, pop off. Yeah. But going back to cricket, West Indies opened their 3-game one-day international series against Bangladesh with a 5-wicket win, game 1 on Sunday at Warner Park in St. Kitts. Bangladesh elected to bat first and with steady batting throughout the lineup, posted 294 for 6 from their 50 overs. Mehdi Hassan Miraz, 74, Tanzib Hassan, 60, Mamadullah, 50 not out. Romario Shepherd, 3 for 51 from 10 overs. Azari Joseph, 2 for 67 from 10. West Indies, 295 for 5 from 47.5 overs. Sherfane Rutherford, 113, his maiden one-day international century.
Okay.
Shea Hope, 86. Justin Greaves, 41 not out. Yesterday, West Indies took an unbeatable 2-game lead in the 3-match series by winning game 2 by 7 wickets.
Ooh.
Bangladesh again batted first and scored 227 in 45.5 overs. Mamadullah, 62. Tanzid Hassan, 46. Jaden Seals, 4 for 29 from 9 overs, a career best for Mr. Jaden Seals, while Gudakesh Moti picked up 2 wickets for 36 runs from his 10 overs. West Indies, 230 for 3 from 36.2 overs. Brandon King got 82, Evan Lewis, 49, Kisi Kati, 45. Tomorrow, Game 3 also at Warner Park. And following Game 3, the teams head for St. Vincent and the Grenadines for the 3-game 2020 series at Arnoldsville. The games scheduled for December 15th, 17th, and the 19th.
You know, John, they might have to start batting from the bottom of the order, you know.
Well, you know, or carry the water.
Yes. Because
Yeah.
when you're scoring all these runs, all these runs for three wickets,
Yeah.
a lot of guys sitting on the bench who never get off the bench with a bat, John.
Well, I tell you, but you don't mind that because they're winning. You know. And when the pictures take you, the pictures are winning. Yeah. Anyway, while Jamaica Scorpions captain John Campbell accepted his ICC Level 3 charges for his part in the regional Super 50 final forfeiture. Not so with Barbados Pride captain Raymond Reefer. Reefer and the Barbados Cricket Association sought the advice of attorneys who have written to Cricket West Indies urging them to withdraw the charges on the grounds that Reefer cannot get a fair and impartial hearing. No response yet from Cricket West Indies.
Okay, and that is not something that they don't want that type of visibility right now. They rather something else.
We shall see how that one shakes out, you know, Trevor.
But you know, we did sort of address very slightly the unfairness, John, of punishing the 2 captains when they are taking orders from the people above them. Okay, you remember? I mean, the captain of the team, John, has to answer to the coach or the manager, right? And finally to the board of directors. And if he's instructed not to go out there and accept, you know, and the toss, then as we said before, if he knows he's gonna be risking suspension and losing all that money, John, if he's not out there standing in front of the referee and the for the time costs, you know, money talks, John. He would be out there saying protecting his money, right?
You know, Trevor, I tell you what, maybe this is an opportunity for us to get a couple of our more knowledgeable cricketers in.
Right.
A person like Len Chambers, who has served as in administration in West Indies cricket.
Yes.
And who can really set us straight with certain things, because I have had conversations with Len about this, but you know, it's like speaking to an attorney, Trevor.
Mm-hmm.
You might have your position on what is going on and what is happening,
Uh-huh.
but the attorney is coming from a legal perspective.
Yes,
And he
yes.
knows a little bit more about the legal side than you do.
And I admit that, yes, that there, I mean, I'm sure there are some people like myself, John, who questions, just the captain being held accountable for a team decision.
Yeah.
And we're not only speaking about the financial aspect, John, we're talking about suspension, John, for an extended
Yeah.
period of time.
Yeah.
While the other members of the team go on to play and make their money in the meanwhile.
You see, but you see, Trevor, as I mentioned last week, the bottom line, when the match referee and the umpire say game on, game is on. So
Yeah.
what you do, you show up, you maybe spin the toss,
Exactly.
you go out on the field, the first over, you run up and you fall down on the wet pitch, and you say, well, we can't play on this.
Well, that is my point. That when you have that much money at stake, John, and your career as a captain can be interrupted for a 6 or 9 month period, John, you have to get a little bit creative.
Yeah, yeah, and sometimes when you're under pressure, you don't think as clearly as you should. And especially if you don't seek if you don't seek help, so to
Yeah.
speak, from a higher up, you know. So it becomes a little bit difficult. I guess when you're under pressure to
Yeah, but we're not talking about a one-man pressure, John. We have two guys from two different countries.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
who
and
came to the same conclusion and decision. That they're not trying out here.
both of them didn't turn up.
And both of them did not turn. If one turned up, you could say,
So
well, the other one was missing in action. But both
yeah,
of them didn't turn up. That looked like a decision that was made or to collude. Okay. And who did it?
but as I said, I'm going to speak to a couple of guys, to Len, and see if maybe someone is to come on with us to talk next week.
Okay.
And have a little discussion on this.
Okay, that sounds good. That sounds good.
Moving on, Australia dusted off India by 10 wickets in the second test in Adelaide to level the series at 1 apiece. India 180 and 175, Australia 337 and 19 without loss. Player of the match, Travis Head 140 in the Australia's first innings, while fast bowlers Mitchell Starc match figures of 8 for 108 and Pat Cummins 7 for 98 for Australia. The third test in Brisbane starts on Saturday. The Global Super League has ended and the Ranchpur Riders are the champions of the inaugural Global Super League, defeating Victoria by 56 runs in last Friday's final. Ranchpur 178 for 3 from 20 overs. Sumak Sarkar 86 not out. Stephen Taylor 68. Victoria 122 in 16.1 overs. Joe Clark 40. Harmeet Singh 3 for 19 from 4 overs. Soumya Sarkar was both player of the match and player of the series. South Africa defeated Sri Lanka by 109 runs in their second test to sweep the series to zip. South Africa 358 and 317, Sri Lanka 328 and 238. There were first innings centuries for South Africa's Ryan Rickleton 101 and Kyle Vereen 105 not out.
Oh.
The Pakistan tour of South Africa switched to the 2020 series as South Africa won game 1 by 11 runs in Durban yesterday. South Africa 183 for 9 from 20 overs. David Miller 82 George Lynn, 48, Shaheen Afridi, 3 for 22 from 4 overs. Abrar Ahmed, 3 for 37 from 4 overs. Pakistan, 178 for 8 from 20 overs. Mohammed Rizwan, 74. George Lynn, 4 for 21 rather from 4 overs. Quina Mafaka, 2 for 39 from 4 overs.
Okay.
Trevor, can we do a Formula One check and come back for a second half?
Okay. You're listening to John Sports Corner. And again, we say thank you for tuning in. We'll just take a commercial break. Yes, John, very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if we can get Len Chambers or Michael Chambers, any of them, I'm sure, will be able to drill a little deeper into this to find out why is it that they took the guy's gold.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Just moving on, some more cricket news, Trevor. You know, Australia women defeated India women by 83 runs in their third and final one-day international to sweep the series 3 games to zip earlier today. Australia women, 298 for 6 from 50 overs. Annabelle Sutherland, 110. Arundhati Reddy, 4 for 26 from 10 overs. India, they came up short with Smriti Manhana, 105, Ashley Gardner, 5 for 30 from 10 overs, and she was named, Annabelle Sutherland rather was named player of the match and player of the series. And it's official. Saudi Arabia will host the 2034 FIFA Men's World Cup, while Spain, Portugal, and Morocco will co-host the 2030 tournament. 3 matches in the 2030 tournament will be played in Argentina, Paraguay, and Uruguay to mark 100 years of the competition.
Okay.
The hosts for both World Cups were confirmed at today's extraordinary FIFA Congress. All 211 member nations were represented at the meeting over a video link.
John, as you say, no, the oil can done.
Yep. Just a reminder, folks, the Jamaica Football Past Players Association that was formed in 1997 is having their inaugural award ceremony this Friday at the Melbourne Cricket Club in Jamaica. Special honorees are Howard Juicy Bell, Michael Tulloh, and the late Freddie Green posthumously.
Ooh.
Contributions may be sent to Scotiabank in the account name of Millennium Solutions Limited in Ligani, Kingston 6. Former reggae boy Ricardo Fuller has earned his stripes. He has completed his graduation from the Professional Football Association Professional Player to Coach Scheme. The PFA Professional Player to Coach Scheme is a joint program from the Professional Football Association, the Premier League, and the European Football League, designed to increase the number of Black, South Asian, and minority ethnic players who transition into full-time coaching roles in their professional game. The scheme is a 23-month intensive work placement and a European Football League club within the academy or first team environment.
But John, if I might just make an observation here. Apart from England. All the rest of them are minority, right?
Well, I guess. Yeah. However, Trevor, Ricardo completed his 23-month placement at his former home, Stoke City, working with their academy.
Okay.
The Jamaica schoolboy football season is just about done and dusted.
Hmm.
Only the Oliver Shield winner to be determined. In Manning Cup, Kingston College defeated St. Catherine 3-1. A couple of weeks ago, I thought Jamaica College and Glenmuir would be the Manning and the Costa Cup
Yeah.
champions for 2024. Well, as it turned out, as usual, I guess I'm wrong. This, you know, but this is Kingston College's 17th Manning Cup title.
Okay.
KC won their first Manning Cup in 1949.
Hmm.
The period between 1909, when the competition started, and 1948, Jamaica College won the Manning Cup 17 times, St. George's College 12, and Woolmer's 8. Since its inception in 1909, Jamaica College has won the title 31 times, St. George's College 22, and Kingston College 17. But since 1949, when KC won their first Manning Cup, they have won the Manning Cup now more times than any other high school in the urban area. Perhaps the bigger story, though, for this Kingston College Manning Cup team is the KC motto, Fortis cadere cedere non potest, which is the brave may fall but never yield. And I
Hmm.
say that, Trevor, because following the Manning Cup win, I heard the manager, Donovan Germain, talk about karma, which I didn't quite understand at the time. Going into the 2023 season, Kingston College lost 14 players from their team of the previous year.
Hmm.
5 transferred to Jamaica College, 2 to St. Catherine High School, and 1 each to Hydel, Mount Pleasant Academy, and St. George's College, while 4 went off to junior colleges in the US.
Hmm.
But this didn't deter Coach Vasarenas, who drew on all his rebuilding know-how and molded a team that got to the semifinals last year, and this year they are raising the Manning Cup.
Oh,
With
John.
his Da Costa Cup win in 2017, Coach Reynolds joins an elite group of coaches who have won both the Manning and the Costa Cups. And those coaches are Derek Tompkinson with Jamaica College and Virtech, Oliver Clue with St. Elizabeth Technical High School and Charlie Smith, Frank Brown with Dint Hill and Excelsior, and Patrick Jackie Walters with Camperdown and Glenmuir.
Hmm. Hmm.
Next year, of course, Kingston College celebrates 100 years, and they'll be defending the Manning Cup. They'll be the defending Manning Cup champions throughout the year, which they are so proud about.
Well, John.
Garvey Maceo snatched the Da Costa Cup from the jaws of defeat to win their 3rd Da Costa Cup. McGrath led for most of the game, 1-0 on a Devon Davis 15-minute goal before Omarion O'Brien broke the hearts of the Garveyites with an equalizer. The 7th minute of the second half, added time, Trevor.
Oh.
The whistle to end the game blew shortly after. Unlike the semi-final against Glenmuir, the game went into penalty shootout in which Garvey won 5-3.
Okay.
The Walker Cup, Mona defeated Excelsior 4-1. So the 2023 Manning Cup champions, Mona, after being knocked out of this year's Manning Cup title race, they closed the season with some hardware, their first Walker Cup.
Okay.
The Ben Francis, the final saw six-time winner St. Elizabeth Technical High School trip, four-time winner Clarendon College, 3-1. While the Champions Cup final, Glenmuir defeated Jamaica College 3-1. Glenmuir's win, it was their second consecutive win for Glenmuir. But I thought this was a preview to the Oliver Shield, but both finalists got knocked out of their respective high school finals. Of course, Kingston College and Garvey will settle the Oliver Shield on Saturday at the St. Elizabeth Technical Sports Complex in Santa Cruz, St. Elizabeth. Garvey is the host for this year's Oliver Shield, and Saturday's final will be a repeat of the 2021-22 final, which Kingston College won.
John, the question for you, John. We seem to have some disparity when it comes to demographics. I mean, we know here Morant Bay High mentioned Happy Grove, Titchfield, Morant Bay, St. Mary. I mean, it's like money doesn't run in those parishes, John. I mean,
yeah, money run, but maybe not enough. And sometimes it's not even so much, money, yes, plays a role, but talent, the talent that you have, maybe the coaches you can attract in those areas,
That's the money part I'm talking about, John, because we know what G Foster did when they got the money and running down the pipe, John.
Well, yes. But yeah, Trevor, but there's a saying, Trevor, every dog has its day. And I remember the days when Cornwall College and Monroe were kings of the hill in rural football.
Yes.
But that has changed.
Yes.
And now it's a Clarendon College, the St. Elizabeth Technical, Glenmuir, Garv, who have kind of moved to the top of the pile now. So as the world turns, the different teams will come to the top.
Okay, well, I hope that's the case. I hope that the money is not missing its mark.
Let's talk some Jamaica Premier League from last weekend, Trevor, with Portmore and Racing in a 1-1 stalemate. Veer United 2-1 over Chapelton Maroons. Cavalier 5-1 over Malines United. Montego Bay United 4-2 over Tivoli Gardens. Waterhouse 3-2 over Dunby Holden. Mount Pleasant 4-1 over Humble Lion. And Arnett Gardens 2-1 over Harbour View. The leading goal scorer so far, Kimoni Bailey of Mount Pleasant and Warner Dwayne Brown of Arnett Gardens with 7 goals apiece. And then they are followed by 6 players who have scored 5 goals. This weekend, Mount Pleasant plays Portmore. Malines takes on Tivoli. Racing plays Waterhouse. Cavalier plays Humble Lion. Montego Bay United against Veer. Dunby Holden against Arnett Gardens, and Chapelton Maroons plays Harbour View. Jamaica reggae girl Kiki Van Zanten has signed a 2-year extension with the Houston Dash of the National Women's Soccer League. So the 23-year-old midfielder will be with the club through 2026, with 2027 an option year. She was actually drafted with the 21st overall pick in 2024 out of Notre Dame. She has 1 goal in 9 appearances for the Jamaica Reggae Girls. English Premiership football as we go across the pond. Last weekend, Aston Villa won zip over Southampton, Brentford 4-2 over Newcastle, Crystal Palace and Manchester City in a 2-2 stalemate, Nottingham Forest 3-2 over Manchester United, Leicester City and Brighton in a 2-2 stalemate, Fulham and Arsenal in a 1-1 stalemate, Bournemouth 2-1 over Ipswich, Chelsea 4-3 over Tottenham. That game, Trevor, I watched that game, boy, and it was just careless defending that gifted Chelsea 2 penalties. West Ham 2-1 over the Wolves.
Then they need to move back the penalty from the, from that 12-yard line, John.
From the 12. Move it where? 20?
About 20.
Yeah, well, in the Women's Super League, Trevor, Manchester City 4 goals to zip over Leicester. Khadija Bunny Shaw, Jamaica Reggae Girls captain, she scored 2 goals and seems as if she is on her way to another goal-scoring championship. In UEFA Champions League, Liverpool 1 zip over Girona, Real Madrid 3-2 over Atalanta, Mbappe scoring his 50th Champions League goal, Bayer Leverkusen 1 zip over Inter Milan, Aston Villa 3-2 over RB Leipzig, Paris Saint-Germain 3 zip over Red Bull Salzburg, Arsenal 3 zip over Monaco, AC Milan 2-1 over Red Star Belgrade, Barcelona 3-2 over Borussia Dortmund, Juventus 2 zip over Manchester City. And in that game, Trevor, Tim Weah, who is the son of Liberian President George Weah, the former great footballer, he got the assist on the Weston McKennie goal that sealed the deal for Juventus. Moving on to netball, you talk about a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, Trevor. Jamaica Sunshine Girls will be without their captain and netball superstar, Janelle Fowler-Nemhard, for at least another 12 months for the most joyous reason. It has been announced that she is in the way.
Oh, not on the way, but in the way. Huh?
In the way. her Australian club, West Coast Fever, sharing the good news last Thursday. And she's a West Coast Fever's leading goal scorer and the league's top shooter for the past 5 years. This will be her second child.
She's about to score a goal. Okay, good.
Meanwhile, Jamaica Sunshine Girls begin preparation for the upcoming 3-game series against South Africa, January 18th, 22nd, and 25th. At the National Sports Complex, Indoor Sports Complex. Netball Jamaica's Vice President, Simone Forbes, says the squad is already working on schemes in the hope of registering another series win over the number 5 ranked South Africa. 18 players have been called to the camp, which will be cut to 15 for the series. And by the way, some of the players who played in the series win over England will not be available for the South Africa series. Both rural and urban Issa High School netball championships have been settled in Jamaica. Homewood Technical has taken both senior and junior rural titles. They defeated Denby 38-30 in the seat for the senior title and Manchester 21-16 for the junior title. In the urban championships, St. Catherine defeated Queens High School 32-24, while and that's for the senior title, while Wolmer's defeated St. Hugh's 27-21 for the junior title. Switching gears a bit to Formula One. Many-time Formula One champion Lewis Hamilton drove in his last race for Mercedes-Benz on Sunday in the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. He went behind the wheel. He will be behind the wheel now for Ferrari in 2025. The seven-time champion brought an end to his 12 years with Mercedes with a fourth-place finish after starting 16th on the grid. His first championship in 2008 was with McLaren and 6 championships with Mercedes.
Okay.
The seven-time championship includes 105 wins and 202 podium finishes. And for those who don't know, Lewis Hamilton has Grenadian roots through his dad, who is from the Spice Island.
Okay. That may go on, huh?
And jumping a bit to gymnastics, Jamaica Gymnastics Association President Nicole Grant Brown calls last weekend's inaugural Carifta Gymnastic Championships a display of solid foundation.
Oh.
Trinidad and Tobago topped the medal table with 168 medals, followed by Jamaica 101. Of the other participating countries, Bahamas got 22, Aruba 13, and Bermuda 8. Barbados and St. Vincent and the Grenadines were also participated in the championship. President Grant Brown says the championships revealed areas where improvement is required, and they include enhancing technical precision and consistency in routines, developing stronger mental resilience under pressure, and investing more in specialized coaching. Despite all this, President Grant Brown is encouraged for Jamaica's gymnastics future. You want to try out, Trevor?
Well, I was rather surprised when you say you start with it's in solid foundation, and I'm a bit curious as to how the talent is drifting, John, in that department when athletics, as we know, is the dominant. And I'm also wondering how many of the boys down there, John, are going to be going into this gymnastics foray, if you want.
Yeah. And, you know, I am actually trying to see if I can get the president on with us one of these afternoons, Trevor.
Yes.
And I'm sure she will go in depth. I mean, I have had her on the radio side before, but I'm trying to get her on the Sosofat TV side.
Yes. And because, you know, because John, we know from a diaspora point of view that we are fully involved when it comes to track and field. We are, from a student point of view, yes, students will be cheering for their schools, you know, in regards to different sports, but track and field is the most dominant thing that is supported in the diaspora. Now we're here.
And I think quite a few youngsters have really turned up for the gymnastics, you know, Trevor, in Jamaica.
Okay.
And, you know, and they seem to be encouraged that there's talent there and we'll eventually get to the world stage, so to speak.
Okay.
You know, but we shall see. Time longer than rope. You know.
Well, who knows? They said they have discovered oil in Jamaica.
And you know, the oil don't spoil. Just moving along, Trevor. Let's go to the Twin Island Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, where St. Benedict's College are the secondary school's Football League National Coca-Cola Intercol champions by defeating Fatima College 2-0 in Thursday's final. Goals on either side of the half by Daryl Zoom Zoom Garcia provided the winning goals. The title win broke a 26-year drought for St. Benedict's. Their last title was in 1998.
Ooh.
The win also made it title number 3 this year, following the SSFL Premier Division title and the South Zone Intercal crown.
Mhm.
But hear the SosoBone part now, Trevor.
Mhm.
A day after the loss, Fatima parted ways with Coach Hudson Charles and his assistant, Russell Sutton.
Oh boy.
Coach Charles says no reason was given for his dismissal.
But he didn't win, but he never won, right?
But I think he won last year,
Well,
you know, and now he lose in the final this year.
I just a time longer than rope.
Time longer than rope. New Trinidad and Tobago coach Dwight York, that's a senior football coach, will oversee his first game, an international friendly against Saudi Arabia, December 17th, at the Al Shabad Club in Riyadh.
Wow. Well, hope they come back with some oil, John.
And well, they have oil too, you know. So, you know, the game serves as crucial preparation for the Twin Island Republic ahead of their Gold Cup playoff against Cuba, scheduled for March 2025. And Dwight York will have the services of overseas players, including team captain Aubrey David. And let's close this Wednesday afternoon with Cool Runnings, Trevor.
Oh, well.
Trinidad and Tobago bobsled team,
No.
the Soca Sliders, earned their first medals of the season in the 4th round of the North American Cup in Park City, Utah.
Oh.
The team of Axel Brown, Thomas Harris, Xavier Williams, and DeAndre John competed against the powerhouses USA and Canada, but tied with Canada in the 4-man and earned an extended podium medal, which is awarded to 4th to 6th place finishers.
So you had
And
more.
that's
So you had more than 4 teams in the competition.
yeah. And that's where we draw stumps for John Sports Corner this Wednesday afternoon on the SosoBone Media Network. But folks, just remember, you go to the Winner Circle store in the SosoBone shop and look at the merchandise that's there. I'm sure you'll find something that you would be interested in, and you purchase it, of course. And again, the great Jamaican Blue Mountain Coffee.
Yes.
Folks, enjoy the rest of this week. See you next week.
And thank you so much, John. And next week, yes, I hope we will have a guest to clean up that mess. And
yes.
And of course, the new sport that I hope you will address next week, John. Spelling bee.
Well, I was never a good speller, you know. You know, remember, I remember, I'll tell you a little story, you know. I remember when I was in prep school, and they used to spell a word, and the entire class would repeat it, and you repeat it, and you repeat it.
Uh-huh.
Well, spelling test came, and the word was Mississippi.
Oh, okay.
And I wrote MIWSI WSIPPI.
Okay. Mississippi. Mississippi.
Mississippi. Because that is how the teacher was telling how to spell it. What I didn't understand is when she said WSI, it means two S's.
Twice.
I just didn't get the concept. And so I write WSI and they mark it wrong. And when I mark it wrong, Trevor, I am confused now, because I went over it in my head, MI, WSI, WSI, PPI. So I said, well, and I start writing all kind of things to correct it. Trevor, I get a cane, for not being able to spell Mississippi,
Well, I am going to wait until I turn off the recording before I tell you mine. Because since my aunt, who was a teacher that I was growing up with, is going to be involved, and since she's already passed on, I don't want any speaking evil of the dead.
Well, Trevor, I get a cane in because I was unable to spell Mississippi.
Mississippi. Well, John,
yeah.
I hope that you remember how to spell Mississippi. That is the cane in the district.
I won't tell you the rest of the story. But my dad went to the school the following morning.
Well,
I have to tell you the rest of the story.
Yeah.
Off air.
I hope the teacher never got cane in. Thank you so much. Let me turn off the recording at this time so we do not commit ourselves to any investment.
Well, the teacher was his relative.
Oh my goodness. Listeners, thank you so much and good night.